800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. That's 800-240-4587.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
Accelerated Graphics and Signs, 101 East Renfro, Sweet C in Burleson, Texas, can handle all of your graphic needs. Need a banner or promotional products for your business? They got you covered. T-shirts and caps for your group. All you need to figure out is if you want them screen printed or embroidered. How about some slick graphics on that hot ride to make you stand out from the crowd? Accelerated Graphics and Signs can handle anything you throw at them. Located at 101 East Renfro Street, Sweet C in Burleson, Texas, go in and see them. Call them at 817-991-0523 or reach them on the web at www.acceleratedgraphics.net. They are loud and proud and want to serve you. Accelerated Graphics.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
You're listening to Joko Community Radio.
Well, guess what time it is on Friday? It's time for me and Mez today. Guys, welcome to the Jobfather, Job Seeker Network Radio all over the globe. We have discovered we're not just here in the United States. So you people that are not here in the United States, welcome. We will talk about some cool stuff today. You will see MegRose Quiterio, which we call Mez, right next to me because y'all, Dana is in Brazil this week. She'll be back. Isn't that cool? And so you guys get me and Mez today. So we're going to see how this works out. Right below me is our guest for the second part of the show, and that is Kevin Parker. Kevin's an IT manager, and we want you companies to understand why Kevin Parker gets the Job Seeker Seal of Approval, the gold stamp of approval, because everybody that comes on this show has been vetted, guys. And we want you guys to understand who is best for you guys to understand who to hire and why. And that's why we talk to them right here on this show. So, guys, before we get started, we always start with a word of prayer. If you would bow with me, Father, we thank you so much for an opportunity to serve you. And everybody's looking for a job. We're trying to find out the best ways and the things that we can do to make the best choices for opportunities. Opportunities are out there. Help regulate our mental processes so that we can do what we need to do to get the best place for us to go to work out there. And we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. Now, I want to thank Joko Community Radio. Tiffany Hurd is the most wonderful person in the world, and she is behind Joko Community Radio. And thank you, Tiffany. And I want to tell you guys a little bit about Joko. All right. Joko's Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, y'all. And it's live 365. You mean you guys can tune in if you're up and you got nausea, or if you're up with sick, if you can't go to sleep and all that stuff, you can tune in. And there's a cool show here.
Really,
So
Austin? What?
it
Tune
is.
in if you're feeling good too, so we can make you feel better.
Oh well, yeah. If you well, I want to talk to the people that are that have
Not feeling
what's
good.
it called? I can't think of the word when you can't go to sleep. What's it called,
Insomnia.
man? Insomnia. Yeah, you
Insomnia.
guys got
Mhm.
insomnia. No, you need to be asleep, but your body just won't let you do it. You guys, we are a community radio, so it's really, really interesting. The shows that are on this channel. So anyway, so to listen or watch, simply go to tuneinjoko.com to choose where and how you want to do that. Joko Community Radio app is available for free, guys. Y'all like that? Free 99. On,
$3.99. That's right.
that's right. On Android and iOS devices. Simply search your store. Check out our lineup and more on JokoCommunityRadio.com. You guys can see right there some of these shows that I'm talking about. You just heard Tatiana Miller telling us how to be human. I love it. I am going to bring Tatiana on our show. This episode and more are brought to you by Patriot Claims, guys. Now Patriot Claims makes your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep, my buddy Nona Reed, and she is at 844-839-4245. Let me tell you again. Now, Nona Reed is who we want to talk to. 844-839-4245. So I hope you guys got that. So, welcome, Mez, and I'm glad that you're with me today.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you, Foster. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, guys. We had a good time networking yesterday over at JFS. You hear me talk about the Jewish Family Services over in Dallas. We had a good networker over there yesterday at 3 o'clock. So when you guys go to jfsdallas.org and check out the things that are going on, Jason Hopper is going to be your main man, 50 grand over there. And you can find out what's going on over there. They serve the community, guys, and they have nothing but wonderful coaching counselors, companies that come in looking to hire people. You guys check out the thanks, Mez. Mez
You're
put
welcome.
jfsdallas.org in the chat. And you know what? You guys can find out what's going on. There's a lot of stuff that's available for job
And you
seekers.
don't have to be Jewish.
And you don't, thanks, Mez.
You're
You
welcome.
do not have to be Jewish. The Jewish Family Services they've been around for 70 years in the United States, and we have a chapter here in Dallas, and we're pretty active here in Dallas. Everybody across the planet knows that we got it going on in Texas, especially here in Dallas. So
Yeah.
yes, check out jfsdallas.org. And we thank you guys for tuning in, and those you guys that are driving in the car listening to us, be careful out there because navigating the roads is a little different these days. I see Cindy Copeland is with my buddy. Cindy Copeland is with us, my prayer buddy Cindy Copeland. Good morning, Cindy. And y'all, let's do this. Let's talk a little bit about applicant tracking systems. That's what Mez and I want to talk to you
Yeah.
guys about today.
The
Okay.
robots.
And then the second part of the show, when I introduce you guys to Kevin, I'm going to tell you who landed and all that stuff on the second part of the show today. So let's get started talking. Guys, a lot of us think that the applicant tracking systems are our enemy. And I know, we've got certain ways that we have to adjust our resume to be seen on the applicant tracking systems and things like that. But guys, companies, it is I mean, you can't keep up with all the paper that we used to have to. I'm ashamed to tell you guys that I was recruiting before applicant tracking systems were available. But applicant tracking systems, guys, some companies have paid millions. We did at a couple of companies that I worked for, millions for those systems. And the reason why we have to have those systems is we can keep up with what we're doing. Communication throughout corporations is not the best all the time, and I know that shocks you guys.
The devil you say.
Oh my God, I know I saw your face when I said that.
It's like,
So, guys, we got to be able to keep up with ourselves. We got to be okay. So, if we get Kevin Parker below me there, see him. If he applies for a job online, he is in that applicant tracking system. And what I intend to share with you guys is the best way that we can deal with that today. And when you apply for a job at that company, guys, you got a second part. You got more to do. You got to go to your network and see who it is that you might know that has a relationship. There's my word. There you go, man. Ooh, get close. At that company that might be able to tell somebody. Sometimes companies have incentives to their employees to suggest that Kevin Parker or other people come to work for the company. And when they come to work for the company, you guys might get a bonus. Some of those bonuses have gone up to as much as $2,000 that I've seen. So that's individual per company. But guys, we have to be in that applicant tracking system because sometimes, the government will monitor what's going on. We say we do all these things at these companies and we keep these resumes for 7 years. Well, you know what? There are rules and regulations that are governed by the government to make sure that companies do certain things. And
especially if they're publicly traded. Publicly traded companies have lots of auditing if it comes to that.
That is very true. Oh my goodness. Yeah, thanks, man. Guys, we got to be able to keep up with all this stuff. And companies can get heavily fined from the government if they can't prove that, okay, we've got Kevin Parker's resume, we've got it on file. You might even want to go as far as to talk about what you have done with Kevin Parker. We interviewed him on this date, and this was the outcome of that. You say you interviewed Kevin Parker. What was the outcome of interviewing Kevin? What'd you think about him? So just as though we job seekers, guys, have to prove that we did apply for a certain position, and we have to prove that we have the experience that they're telling us that we're supposed to have for that position. We have to prove ourselves as a company. We have to prove ourselves to the government and other people that are monitoring us that we did interview Kevin, and what we did with Kevin when we had him in the process. Maz, you got some stuff you want to on your mind?
I do.
You want to share with us about applicant tracking system?
I do. So people don't understand that even LinkedIn is an applicant tracking system, either just for the content that you post to your actual information about yourself, and recruiters, they use a paid version, and depending on what their search criteria are, it is an individual ATS system that they use. So ATS systems are not just the black hole that everybody is used to hearing about. The biggest thing with ATS systems is your ability to follow directions. Every single company has a website that they get you to. The better you can follow the directions, and it's staggering. I think they did a study, Foster. Me and Foster love studies. Not too long ago.
Nerdy.
We're very nerdy. There's no kind of involved, but squirrel. They did a study seeing how well people can follow simple instructions. And it was almost like an escape room. I think the show or the study was called 100 People from all different backgrounds, age groups, the whole nine. And only, oh my gosh, 20, not even % of people were even able to follow simple instructions. And then the more, oh yeah, it was bad, Foster. I'm like, no, I can do it. And they have a little quiz. And of course I failed it. But following instructions on their website. So if it says, please have a PDF, make sure your resume is a PDF. If it asks you, and I know it's annoying, to put in individual experiences or different questions, do it. It takes 2 hours at minimum to apply for one online job correctly. And not a lot of people know that, and they always blame the ATS systems. But if you want to apply online, you better be willing to put in at least 2 hours. That's minus adjusting your resume to that job. So ATS systems are individual. They are a lot of money. And even if they're not the best systems, companies have already spent this money, so they're going to use them. So they're not going anywhere. So you better get used to it.
No, they're not going anywhere. And they don't need to. When I was leading a recruiting function, they were very, very important for me to pull up the information that I needed to share with different departments, because I was the one that would go to those meetings and take up for the recruiting department. Everybody always thinks you guys have no idea how much we recruiters get banged on. You didn't do this. We need this person. And, a lot of times we do our part, and the hiring managers, you hiring managers are listening. You guys have to travel for a lot of companies, especially big companies. I was on the airplane all the time when I worked for a number, because I worked for Fortune 10. But guys, we have to be able to prove what we're telling you in those status meetings. And so that applicant tracking system is wonderful. We can submit resumes to a hiring manager, and we can tell whether the hiring manager even looked at the things. So there's no sense in fussing at Foster or his people if you haven't even looked at the resumes that they sent you. So we have status meetings, guys, that all the time, Dana and I talk about this all the time, that we have to abide by for many, many reasons. Now, when you are applying, there are some general rules. There's Rex. Good. Hey, good morning, Rex. There are some general rules, guys, that are good for practically all applicant tracking systems. Some companies don't spend so much money. All companies can't afford as much money as a Verizon or an IBM, or a couple of those other big old companies that I work for, on an applicant tracking system. But you can pretty much go. This is pretty much the rules, guys. Don't put boxes and underline things on the resume, because the applicant tracking systems won't know what to do with it. I've seen some resumes that didn't even have a name and a phone number for Foster to call, because they wanted to make their resume pretty, and they put their name and all that stuff in a box. Underlines are usually kind of tough for applicant tracking systems too.
Underlines, dashes, and bullet points. Bullet points, they don't know what to do with either. A lot of them.
Rex says the nationally renowned SME guys, subject matter expert on career transition, MegRose is the best is the best program host in job search program. She will be the one day very soon to go national broadcast. So
Thank you,
thank
love.
you, Rex. Thank you.
Rex is
And
a
I
sweet
love, and
sucker.
Rex, any comments that you have, Rex, about applicant tracking systems, hey, put it in the chat box, and
Please.
y'all, we're gonna have Rex on the show very soon. As soon as Rex's schedule will allow, we will have him with us. Honestly, Rex is the one. He should be the national everything poster child for job search. He really should be. We appreciate you, Rex. We really do. So, guys, don't make your resumes fancy. Before applicant tracking systems, I knew it was important, or we thought it was important, to have our resume all pretty and these little designs and all that stuff on there. But applicant tracking systems, guys, are not favorable for all of that stuff. So keep it. You can Google, guys, applicant tracking system resume. You can Google that, and it'll show you the things that you need to share and not share on your resume for adequate applicant tracking system visuals and things like that. So basic stuff is, don't put things in boxes, circles, underline. I think Meg is going to tell us that bullet points are okay.
No bullet
Bullet
points,
points not
especially
okay.
special characters, people. So if it's something that you have to extra click on,
Uh-huh.
or the best way I used to do it when I was in job search was I would have my resume all beautiful, ready to go, and I would change it from a Word file to a text file.
Ah,
And you need to be able to do that. So that's a very basic minimum filtering system that you can do, to put it bluntly. So if it is weird in that text file, the format's all weird, all of a sudden you have one bullet that's over here, it's supposed to be up here.
Right.
That tells you that you have too much formatting and too many special characters that may or may not be picked up. And just for an FYI, Google's a wonderful tool, and stuff like best applicant tracking systems of 2023. That's all I typed in, and I have top companies.
Oh my God, how
Applicant
many did
tracking
you,
systems.
how many did it give you?
13. Top 13.
Oh, good,
So
good.
we have Greenhouse, Pinpoint,
Yep.
Jazz HR, Recruitee with 2 E's, Trackstar Hire, VidCruiter, what I've never heard that one, Clear Company, Bamboo HR, Mattel, what I can't pronounce. I don't learn to read. But just a simple Google, and then you can go on these websites. Just let's do the top 5. I'm not going to do it here, but you go and check out the top 5 companies and kind of go, oh, this is what they were advertising to companies and recruiters and stuff that I should know on the inside. And maybe I can tailor my resume, or I can have a couple different formats that are templates. So when I recognize the template that I'm applying for, because they're pretty easy to recognize, you can go, I'm using this template for this particular company because I know they are using Greenhouse ATS systems, and I know how our Greenhouse ATS systems work. So just simple things like that, just connecting the dots, in my opinion.
I remember when Google was a company before it was a verb.
Yeah, I do too, actually. I remember when it became in the Webster's Dictionary. I do remember that.
And the interesting thing for me was that the first companies that I expected to hear Meg talk about was probably Trovix, was iSIMS, the bigger ones. I didn't even hear I didn't even
iSIMS
hear her
is
say
on the
that.
left. No, iSIMS, ICIMS is actually number 12, and then Smart Recruiters is number 13.
Smart Recruiters number 13?
Yeah, no, that's
Wow.
12 and 13. So we have some new, even my company, DMS or Digital Matrix Systems, uses Bamboo HR, not necessarily for
Bamboo, yeah.
recruiting. I like Bamboo HR,
I
and
like
we use
Bamboo
it as
HR.
mostly internal stuff. We haven't really implemented the ATS system, but yeah, I haven't heard of any of these. Greenhouse number 1.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've even.
Greenhouse is pretty good. It's okay.
Okay.
hmm
So yeah,
Oh, that's a good list. I didn't even think
I'll send
about
you this list.
Googling that up. Yeah, send me that list.
There you go.
That's
It's in
cool.
the chat.
Now, some companies, guys, like we did at the onset of Verizon, what was that, back in 99 to 2000, at the onset of that, we built our own ATS system, and we wanted to customize it for our use, and it was awesome. Let's see, what do we call that thing? We called it Alexis. And and we battled with Alexis, and everybody was trying to get it all straightened out. And then once we became Verizon, and some of the other leaders that we acquired took over, they got rid of it. They threw Alexis out the door, and they bought, I don't know what they bought. I think they bought iSIMS, I think. So you people that are applying with Verizon, you guys, when you look at, I'm going to tell you where you can find out what systems they're using sometimes. When you see a job posting on LinkedIn or wherever you guys are finding them, when you apply, it will say in small print on the bottom, not all of them now, but probably 60 to 70% of them would say system powered by iSIMS, system powered by Greenhouse, or whatever system they're using. You can find out if you want to take the time to do this job seeker, and sometimes it can be worth it. Find out what they are on and then study. You can Google. You can you can Google up that name and find out what are some of the the neat things about that system? What makes that system superior to other ones? Because those things that you read might be the indicators of why that company is even using that system, and it might tell you some. Okay, if you're a job seeker, don't put this in your resume. Do put this in your resume for the better operations of that system.
Agree. And plus, if you're in the HR realm,
Yeah.
recruiting, all of that, and you're applying to some of these companies, you need to know what ATS system or what HR system they're using. And a lot of times you need a connection, an actual relationship. I'm using Foster's word to find this out, but sometimes on Glassdoor, you can find some of this stuff out. Yeah, I'm trying to just do a simple Google search. And a lot of times we're not going to advertise this stuff because, of course, every big company wants to be like, we are self-sufficient, like Foster was saying. And I think Dana had an internal ATS system. What do they call Amy? And they would actually put it on job descriptions, like some weird, like, we use Amy. Are you certified in Amy? And of course, this was a bogus question, right? Because it was an internal software that, what was the name of her last company? Foster, I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh, Karis Life Sciences?
That's it.
She's at Galderma right now. I'd like to know what Galderma uses right now.
Yeah, me too. But anyway, so they would put it on job descriptions. Like, do you know anything about Amy? And of course, no one knew unless you were internal. But that was another question that they would have on their, application. And just don't lie. That's the other one, guys. If you don't know what the acronym is and you look it up and you think you know what it is, that's not knowing what it is. Just know yourself and go, no, I have no clue.
And that's a good answer for a lot of questions. That's the best answer.
Yeah, like, I have no clue. Tell me.
No. Because if you say they might ask you a question and you don't know, and you're not going to be able to answer that question. And you're busted.
You are. Even if you did it 10 years ago.
Rex says applying on ATS within 96 hours after a job is posted delivers a 64.7. Now, this sounds like Rex now. A 64.7% boost over your competition. Nearly 60% of all candidates apply within the first week. That's true. And that's very important that you do. When you think about that, guys, if you're applying for a job that is a popular job, like a project manager or administrative assistant or a, let's take Kevin, for example. Kevin's a little high end on his, but we need to hire people that fix computers a lot of times. So what will we call them, Kevin? A first level computer associates at some companies, they may be called a help desk associate, those kind of people.
Okay.
There may be a whole lot of resumes. There may be a whole lot of people that are applying for that position. So guys, you want to get in there as quickly as you can, because we recruiters, we don't have all the time in the world. And some of us recruiters that are high, I guess you could call us running fast recruiters that have a lot of job positions to fill. We might have 80 requisitions to fill, guys. And when you got 80 requisitions to fill, you don't have a lot of time to go through that kind of stuff. So, Rex, thank you for that. That is absolutely essential. Get in there as quick as you can, guys.
Yep. And a lot of times I've heard stories, and Foster can probably attest to this as well, that some recruiters cut it off after the first 10 applicants that apply. And they're not dealing with anything more. Sometimes recruiters are people too. They get overwhelmed, and especially if the top 10 are qualified. Why should they reach for anything? Oh, I hear music.
Oh, yeah, hear music.
We'll be right back, everybody. We'll talk to Mr. Kevin.
Mr. Kevin Parker will we talk to next.
Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who is honest and upfront. No hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
Out of deck carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
Joko Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Well, we're back, you guys. And you know what? What are you back to? This is the Jobfather Job Seeker Community Radio. And you know what? We are here to service all of job search. Now, I promised you guys that I was going to share with you guys some of the folks that landed this week already. So out of this big old network that Mez and I like to talk about, a lot of you guys land jobs and we get a chance to make a relationship with you guys before you even get your job. So that's awesome. And we ask that you guys pay it forward once you get inside. If you need to hire someone yourself, or if you know of some important thing that your company needs to hire, let us know. And then we will talk, and maybe you would be the person that will get the employee bonus for bringing somebody in. So just something to think about. That's what this network is all about, to share. So we want to congratulate Valerie King. She is the new digital marketing. She is the new digital marketing manager at Boeing. She got a big job.
Oh, wow. Congrats.
That's
super
cool.
Good.
Now, Tracy Brackett is executive director. I like these executive folks because they can make decisions, you know. She's executive director of strategic accounts at Ocular Therapeutics, Inc. Ocular, guys, you know what ocular means. That means your eyes. It means she'll be able to, her company will help you be able to see. Okay. Shelly Story is she's a consultant, guys. Tracy's awesome. She's at Verizon Business. I get excited anyone time I talk about somebody landing at Verizon because I spent a number of years at Verizon. And that is one of my yay companies. It was one of the best jobs I ever had. Kathy Kostenbader, if you are listening, you were my boss and you were awesome, and you're still awesome. So says your husband. So I believe him. Okay. Amy Neal, guys, she's an HR at Eye Care Partners. She's senior director of HR systems and services at Eye Care Partners. So, man, we are really focusing, man. We got these eye people with us. And last but not least, guys, Miriam Sneed is at Bank of America, and she's in a very, very new position for those guys as a relationship banker. She's a little bit, the relationship banker position is a little bit different, but we want to congratulate you, Miriam Sneed, and thanks a lot for letting us know about your landing. Thanks for
absolutely, guys. Tell us, we are here for you when you don't have a job, but we really want to support you when you do have a job, so you can pay it forward. So tell us, please tell us that you landed.
That's right.
Release you from there. Go forth and prosper.
So right below me, you guys can see there's Kevin Parker right there. You see him?
Hey,
Kevin
Kevin.
Parker is an awesome individual, and Kevin is an IT manager. But when I say an IT manager, Kevin can honestly, Kevin can be your top guy to design an entire service system for what you are doing. And I am really excited to say that I know Kevin. And Kevin, tell us a little bit about what Foster is trying to say about what it is that you do. We have a number of companies that have been invited today to listen to you and consider hiring a Kevin Parker.
Excellent, excellent. Good morning, Foster and Ms. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good
Morning.
morning.
Glad to have you.
Yes. So, Foster, you did an excellent job. I don't need to add too much to that. You're always the true spokesman.
Oh man.
So, basically, I have a very unique skill set when it comes to IT.
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
started out actually with university work as part of the local colleges in my area.
Uh-huh.
Next, it was NASA, U.S. Department of Interior, U.S. Department of Energy, and then manufacturing as well. So,
Sweet.
as I was being tasked with different projects from the CEO, um, I learned to ask questions in IT, which is a great benefit
Oh
because
man.
you never really know everything. And really, with IT, right, you just have to look under the rug sometimes. Your soft skills are just as important as your
Right.
technical ones,
Yes, they
right?
are.
And so I just got to a point where I just know where all the pieces of the puzzle fit in the network infrastructure or network infrastructure side of things, behind the scenes in the communications closet, and then go to other departments like asset management, business analysts, and to join the IT's department in its responsibilities with all of those things. So, in a nutshell, I'm somewhat of a IT guru as IT relates to the rest of the company or
Uh-huh.
organization.
What functionality does a company need that whole department to do?
Correct, correct. And in a nutshell, IT basically are consider them as civil servants like police officers, firemen, fire chiefs. We don't really think of
Very good point. Yes.
them in
Hmm.
those terms, right, Mez?
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah,
when,
you're a necessary
yes,
evil, quote unquote, that
yes,
everybody needs to pay for, but doesn't necessarily know why we have to pay for you, right?
correct, until something breaks.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, you need me and you love me.
Yeah.
We're like insurance.
Kevin, I
Exactly.
guess I guess you would be in charge of a lot of times assessing what networks you guys use to be able to create the functionality that is needed out of your IT system to answer some of the questions that some of the people that you're serving internally, all the departments need a certain functionality to be able to report, to be able to uh, get certain softwares to work. Not all softwares work on the same backbone.
Correct, correct. Absolutely. And what we're finding is, and what I'm finding is that sometimes we have, when I said us, I mean users who are not necessarily aware of the technical importance of
Uh-huh.
software being stable. They may just walk out to the local store and purchase a piece of software thinking that it will work
Yep.
in their environment, and that is not always the
Mm.
And
case.
the people that sell you that software will tell you tell you
Oh,
things
yeah.
that may or may not be.
I was like, oh yeah, that'll work. That'll work. It's like,
Yes.
I
We
Yeah,
can't
you
log
want
must.
in.
I've
Correct.
been one of those people before. I'm sorry to say I needed a Kevin.
We must test, we must test, we must
Yes.
test. So that is basically my niche within IT. I'm able to just take off the technical um, coat or jacket and just listen, right? It's an
Hmm.
essential part
Hmm.
of Tech 101. Just listen to what the upper level management wants or
Yeah.
dictates for the rest of the company and put flesh and bones on that from an IT perspective. And Foster, and as it's just,
Hmm.
as I mentioned before, just listening to what is being said, gleaning from
Ah,
that and fulfilling the request or the demand.
Sounds like you're a product manager, almost like the
Correct.
agile form. Yeah, so it sounds like you're a product or a storyteller in that regard, or basically for the rest of the world, it's called a liaison. But of course, we're
Correct.
IT and we want to be special and have our own names.
Correct.
And so what are you looking for then? So since you like the liaison people portion of it, what companies are you targeting right now?
Right now, Microsoft, of course, on a consulting
Mhm.
basis,
uh-huh.
would be perfect for me. I lean more towards also system administration and technical support. For those of you that are not technical, those would be the individuals that when your network breaks down, you may
Uh-huh.
not see them, but they're
Mhm.
behind the scene connecting wires and cables and systems to make sure that you are
Mhm.
back up and running. But
And you
Right.
know what's funny, Kevin? Those were the words that I was trying to think of when I was trying to describe what it was. While I couldn't even think of it. Oh my goodness!
no,
But
sir.
Kevin, you would be the one to report the findings from testing and things like that to be able to go to those meetings and tell upper management, okay, guys, this will work, this will not work, and then you'll try your best to explain it in, in layman's terms as to
Correct.
why, right?
Correct, correct,
Okay.
correct. And that is 100% accurate. The idea and the concept is, I try to keep it simple and plain, but what is it and why do we need it?
Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm. You know, I think in my estimation and my experience, it is really cool to meet an IT person that you can talk to, that can talk
Yes,
layman stuff to you. Because when you go, yes, it is very technical. And a lot of IT people, I want you guys listening, a lot of people in information technology, you guys are excited about what you're good at. But you got to understand that Foster, and well, Mez probably will understand because she's real smart. But Foster may not understand all that intricate stuff that you're sharing with me. So, can you bring that down to layman's terms, in other words, and explain it? And I think that is unique. And I can tell you because I've known Kevin, I've worked with Kevin. Kevin is one of those kind of people that can explain it to you in a way that you can understand why this and why not that.
absolutely, absolutely. Yep. And for
Kevin,
the
would
most,
you go? Would you design systems, or would you be mainly the guy to go to and say, "Okay, this is what we're looking to do," and for the overview of what you guys are trying to do, yes or no? Which of those would be a better
mine
description of
would
Kevin?
mine would be implementing more,
Okay.
more than designing, but more implementing the idea of the piece of software that you have in your environment. But not giving out any names. There's a really, at the time, a really well-known and popular oil and gas company. This particular company, and I'll keep this short. This particular company, anything that you would want, as far as, let's just say you wanted to start offshore drilling, correct? You
Uh
don't
huh.
have the equipment, you don't have the manpower, you don't have the resources, none of that. This particular company will give you everything you needed from that idea concept during drilling until the closing of the capping of the well. They were very
Hmm.
unique in their particular skill set.
Oh.
So when something went wrong, um, I was usually the specialist on site immediately to address those IT concerns.
Oh.
Hmm.
During that time and prior to, I would take any information. It was specialized tools, right? Let's consider this piece as well. When you're offshore drilling, there's actually a robot that is designed to go so many specifications on the computer to the left, right, up, or down, according to the specs that the manufacturer has designed in that software,
Hmm.
right? And it's those little things or pieces or notches, as we would say, that can really cost you millions of dollars. if those
Oh
things
yeah.
were not spec'd correctly. So when I went on site, more than likely I was dealing with not only an IT issue, but a technology issue. We had a
Ah,
company that would basically um, develop and design their own in-house motherboard and circuitry for those robots. So to answer your question or to your point, I literally became all things IT and
yeah.
technology specific for those subsidiaries and for that company in particular. So I'm more or less a person that I'm leaning more toward break and fix, but also implementation. If you want this, okay, why do you want it and what do we need it for?
I
Sounds like
got.
my life in a nutshell because I was Schlumberger for 10 years.
Yeah, you
Or
were in oil and gas. Yeah.
10 years oil and gas, and that implementation, we had our all in-house software, and
Yes.
heck, we couldn't get a pump started if the right software wasn't uploaded, and yeah, troubleshooting that was no fun.
So,
But
Miss,
what?
this was superior energy to give
Oh,
you
okay,
a
yes. All right, yeah, I'm superior, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've heard of
Yeah.
them. I had no idea what they do or anything. My best buddy, Jeff Little, I call him Bubba, was the exact same thing. He'd have to get on an airplane and travel to wherever they were. He was the IT guy to do the same thing that you're discussing, Kevin. So I kind of had a little bit of understanding of what you're saying.
yes.
So you learned a little bit of both. You learned a bit. Well, of course, you know the IT part. That was your expertise. But man, you learned how things operate in that spectrum of oil and gas or whatever you were controlling from the IT standpoint, I guess.
Correct. And also, just to bring in one piece of item or note that we alluded to earlier in the conversation, it's it's not just the technical and the software part of IT that most people are stumped on. They don't really know how the IT department functions with the rest of the
Mm-hmm.
company. You know,
Mm.
IT is here forever, in my opinion, because it created a certain convenience that we're accustomed to.
Yes.
We leave our cell phone at home, we feel
Oh
awkward, we
man,
feel
it ain't happening without my cell phone. And you
lost.
know the sad thing is, I'm old enough to say it used to happen without
Yes.
my cell.
If you want to freak people out, cut off or take out the wire for their router and see what happens. Just if you have
Oh,
a slow day, yeah, just take out that wire for the router. It's like, I don't know what happened. Let's see what we can do for you.
Kevin, what is the best way? Because a number of companies are listening to us now. What is the best way to contact you?
My contact information, in short, most of it will be on my LinkedIn page. I provided it to them on the chat, to you guys on chat window, but you
Hmm.
can go to linkedin.com and search for Kevin Parker.
Now,
And
is there a number of Kevin Parkers out there? How would we
Probably.
zero in on you?
you can zero in on me at Parker Computer Services
Ah,
LLC,
Hmm.
or you can reach out to me on Facebook at Parker Computer Services LLC. I will also give you my email address. It's Kevin TP, that's T is in Tango, P is in Papa,
uh-huh.
929 at gmail.com. Kevin TP 929 at gmail.com. So if you have a problem with IT, if IT is your problem, then call Kevin. He can solve them.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted you to say. That is so awesome because that is very accurate. Kevin, what got you in IT? When you were much younger, were you what got you in IT? What do you think drove you in that direction?
Excellent question, Foster. I come from somewhat of a large family. My dad and mom, it was had six of us, four girls and two boys.
Wow.
So my
Oh
brother and
wow.
I somewhat had curious mindsets. My brother was known for taking my mom's lamps and just
Uh-oh.
dismantling them.
Y'all got in trouble.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would not
that
go over
sounds
well with me.
that sounds like boy. Hey Kevin, did you grow up in Louisiana?
Correct. I'm a
Okay.
product of New Orleans, Louisiana. I've traveled a bit, lived cross country. My family actually resides now in Fort Worth, but I've lived West Coast, Seattle, Washington for a
Uh-huh.
number of years, and now I call Dallas my home. But we've always been of a curious mind, and I credit a greater portion of my desire to go into IT to my wife. I'm dating myself a bit, I guess, but back when we'd stay on the phone for 2 hours with tech support, she
Uh,
said, "I see you're getting frustrated about this. Well, you're so smart. Why don't you fix it?"
yeah. Yeah.
And lightly speaking, that did it for me. But I always had a curious mind in nature when it came to how things work and how they somewhat design and put together. And then that's the secret, believe it or not, to troubleshooting issues.
Yeah.
When you find out once it's put together, how it's designed or put together,
Yeah.
excuse me, then you will know how to repair it and put it back into its original state.
Mhm.
And there is such a plethora of technology and companies that specialize in things that you wouldn't even think about that were even necessary. And I guess, part of your job, Kevin, is to see how some of those things are a good fit for what you're looking for and what your client company that you're working for has a need for. Which one does it faster? Which one does it more accurately? Which one burns out before the other.
Oh yeah, that's huge. It's like, can I get this part and will it break first? That is
Yeah,
absolutely
exactly.
huge.
Break
Yeah.
and
Yes.
fix. I hadn't heard that. Believe it or not, I hadn't heard that in so long, and it's so simple and it's so accurate. The break and fix.
Yes.
Break and fix for the rest of the world that don't know what they're talking about is called reverse engineering. So taking it
Yeah, for you
apart
smart people.
to put it back together or improve it. So break and
Yes.
fix what they're talking about. Like, what break and fix? Like that's no well, that's mafia style. Okay. So you break it to insure it. That's a different thing. So they're not in the mob. They're talking about reverse engineering. Let's make it very
Yeah, Kevin's
clear.
not in the mob, y'all.
No.
That's a different thing. Breaking that's a different kind of breaking thing.
Kevin's smart mob.
Yes. Reverse engineering. You're gonna get a phone call, Kevin, and it's not gonna be the right one. Sorry.
Wow.
No worries.
Girl. Yes. Just letting everybody
Kevin,
else know.
there is I can't remember if I no, I didn't. There is a lady that works for a company called Odyssey Information Systems. Her name is Shelly Casino. I love her
Mhm.
last name, even though I don't go. But Shelly, Shelley, I would love for you to connect with. Shelly is an absolutely above board IT recruiter, and because of her history of that in that company, she gets a lot of companies, a lot of ideas. So connect with her. I would also suggest that you check out the opportunities that are available um, at my buddy Nina Vaca's company. And that is, oh my God, now all of a sudden I forgot the name of the company. My screen threw me off, you guys. Uh, Look up Nina, NINAVACA on LinkedIn, and you will see that she is the president
Principal
of
group?
Pinnacle.
Pinnacle, not principal.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
learned to read. Yay.
Meg does know how to read, you guys. Pinnacle Technical Resources. Check them out, Kevin, because I've seen some job postings from Pinnacle because Nina and I are friends. I've seen some of her recruiters make postings for jobs in the past that they would have been glad to run into a Kevin Parker about.
Nina looks so familiar. I'm looking at her
Nina
profile right now.
Nina has been on the news. Nina is one of the most I guess she is tops when it comes to women-owned businesses. Uh, she
Yes.
she has been in magazines. And the good thing with me is that I remember when I was at the Associates, I think was when I met Nina, when she was a regular person like me. But
Yes.
she Nina is the most awesome person in the world in my that's just my estimation. in ladies leadership. There are 3 ladies across Dallas, and Nina
Nina. There we go.
Nina is number 1 in my estimation.
Okay. I'm looking at her picture. I'm like, I know this woman from somewhere. I don't know if I personally met her, but
She's
yeah.
been on the news. She's been on TV, national talk shows, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Keynote speaking. Oh my goodness. We love our Nina because Nina was on the road with the rest of us. Nina can tell you about what it's like, and she manages the people that work for her in that same respect. Hey, let's get it done. Let's do like Kevin. Let's figure out what the problem is. Okay, somebody broke something. What is the fix? What is the best fix? How do I find the best fix for that? That is Nina. And she did it. And I think she is the largest, Pinnacle, I think, is the largest IT support company west of the Mississippi to be. I think so. I think I'm accurate. If I'm not, you guys don't kill me. But Nina's big time, and Pinnacle is big time. When you guys go to Pinnacle's website, you'll see what I'm talking about. So, Kevin, check them out.
Will do.
Absolutely. Out of curiosity, Kevin, before we go, we're about a couple minutes out, but what job titles, because we've described a lot, and it could be kind of labeled as different job titles for different companies. Obviously, we all have many shades of gray for even just a project manager, right? Yes. So what job titles for Microsoft, you mentioned, are you applying for? What sticks out to you?
Excellent question, Maz. That would be IT consulting.
Okay.
As well as system administration. IT consulting, I think, is probably one of their hot areas now that they're looking for people to fulfill the service. So
yeah, they laid off a bunch of people recently. So I'm guessing you're open to contract work because that's what it looks like it would be with Microsoft in particular.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And sometimes Foster could correct me if I'm not totally accurate. Sometimes with those contract positions, Foster, do they expand for a good portion of time, a good period of time?
They do. They do. And
sometimes they do.
When you go into a contract position, job seekers, when you're considering a contract position, with a company like Microsoft, it can be extended a lot of times. So you want to find out, okay, guys, what is the length of the contracts that you guys allow us to do, and how do you upgrade that? Okay, how much time do I need to take off in between the contract? Because some companies, 6 weeks is all. Some companies, a couple of weeks. But you got to be down, and then they rehire you and go through that whole process again. So if you go through, Kevin, if you go through a third-party company, ask them what it looks like.
We hear music, but Kevin, thank you so much for joining us. Everyone, have a wonderful, blessed weekend. And don't forget, next week, same time.
Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godly. This is the voice of Johnson County. Joko Community Radio.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
Let's be honest. Wheelchair